Hey, what's up everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you guys very much for taking time out of your day to check it out. Please hit that like button and subscribe button if you haven't already, because I'd appreciate both those things, and I am the Crapgamer. If you didn't know who I am, that's who I am, and this is Crapgamer Reviews. I want to jump right into today's topic, and what's really fantastic about what Microsoft is doing is they're being a lot more bolder and confident in their product. This is a drastic change from what went on back in 2013. And one of the big people that has come out recently and spoken, he did a Eurogamer interview with Albert Penello. He's the Senior Director of Product Management and of Xbox. So this is the guy that basically handles a lot of this stuff. And they were basically asking him, and I'm going to link this in the description so you guys can read this entire thing. It's quite lengthy or whatever, but the main thing that I like about this is he's basically a matter of fact and upfront about the fact that the PS4 Pro can't do native 4K games like as a regular thing. And I think that that's very important because he's like, well, he comes out and says Sony danced around so much as far as their conference when they were announcing the PS4 Pro. Like, they danced around everything. They're like, they never really come out and say 4K native or anything like that. And they basically talks about how they really kind of pump up the fact that they have, that they have the 4K Blu-ray player and things that Sony doesn't have. And like, Albert really kind of just stands his ground, and this is definitely something that I like to see Microsoft doing. So let's see, they ask this is what they say, so are you dancing around an accusation that Sony's marketing for PS4 Pro is misleading? And Albert Penello says, no, I'm not dancing around it at all. I would actually say that if you go look at their marketing and look at what Sony said, they talk about checkerboard rendering. They've been very open about it. I'm not accusing them of anything. They've been very open about the compromises around 4K, which is basically what they're saying. He says, the most shocking thing about all this is how Sony and us arrived at a similar strategy, even though the execution is different, nuanced in different ways. Certainly this is a pretty revolutionary idea. When we announced Project Scorpio at E3 to do this kind of mid-console upgrade, and Sony clearly had their plans, which is very similar, I just think that's interesting, and for what it's worth, it's a pretty revolutionary idea to have two companies arrive at the same conclusion. To go back to the original point about assaulting the competition or trying to be aggressive against them, I think there are a lot of caveats they're giving customers right now around 4K. They're talking about checkerboarding, rendering, and upscaling, things like that. There are just a lot of asterisks in their marketing around 4K, which is interesting because when we thought about our spec we wanted for Scorpio, we were very clear we wanted developers to take their Xbox One engines and render them in native true 4K. That's why we picked the number that we did, and that's why we have the memory bandwidth that we have. That's why we have the teraflops we have, because it's what we heard from game developers, what was required to achieve native 4K. So he's very on point saying, and then he says, now similar to what Sony said, that doesn't mean I'm going to require developers to do this. They're going to be able to decide to take the 6+ teraflops of power and do what they think is best for the games, but I know that 4.2 teraflops is not enough to do true 4K, so I feel like our product aspired a little bit higher, and we have fewer asterisks around the 4K experiences to deliver on our box. Absolutely fantastic, absolutely knocked it out of the park with this. I'm really impressed with what he's doing, with what he's saying, and I really love it. I think that it's fantastic, and I like how open they are. Microsoft has been very open and very kind of honest with what's going on, and I can't really say that how can anybody dislike that? You know what I mean? I think that it's a fantastic time to be an Xbox gamer, and I think that Microsoft has every right in the world to come out and pimp up the things that they're doing and say, hey, Sony can't do true native 4K. They have to be clear about it because Sony's not being clear about it. Even though Microsoft is being a little bit politically correct about it, I still love the fact that they're taking chances and taking shots, and you know what I mean? I just think that it's a fantastic thing, and I love seeing Microsoft being aggressive like this. It's good for the industry, it's good for them, and I'm very happy with everything that's going on, and especially since Sony pushed the resolution thing so much earlier this generation. And you know what I mean? I just think that it's funny. Oh, here's another thing. Fundamentally, will the game experiences be different? It's talking about, let's see. It rekindles memories of the 1080p versus 900p thing we had with the PS4 and Xbox One when both those consoles launched. But fundamentally, the game experience was the same. If the frame rates were the same on both consoles at the same time, is this just not the whole thing over again, but played out on a 4K screen? And Albert Penello says, this is going to be a fun thing for you and I to talk about a year from now. It's really hard for me to predict what game developers are going to do, and you and I both both know there will be people who claim absolute certainty that the difference between 1080p and 900p is the most significant thing, and anybody who claims otherwise is blind, and there will be people who say that they can't see a difference. Both people are right in their own mind, so predicting how developers will use the power and how different the games are going to look, it's hard for me to say right now, so we're going to wait and see. Absolutely phenomenal. Great read. Check it out. It's in the description. Thanks for watching. Make sure you guys check out Xbox Nation from last night. It was a great show. Thanks for watching again. Rack 'em up. Keep it Xbox. Crapgamer out.